Next is Mr. Gessner. We're gonna talk about finances again.
Oh, we covered that right before you all went to executive session.
Okay, so you're done?
All set, thank you.
Thank you. All right, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any objections? We'll take it without objection. Have a motion to approve the minutes from October the 13th.
Moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any additions and corrections? Let you call the roll, Brian.
Mr. Grooms?
Do they-
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Dr. Houghton?
Yes.
Mr. Rich?
Yes.
Mr. Farley? Yes. Mr. Barker?
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin?
Yes.
Passes.
Ms. Ike, are you ready for personal appearances? First off, we have Ms. McAllister.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is it okay to proceed?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank the mayor and city council for giving me this opportunity to speak, and I know this lot was brought up at the last council meeting. My name is Trish McAllister, I live at 1002 Lighter Way, Folly Road, Ellis Island. And first of all, I would like to thank the Folly Beach Police and the fire department for their timely response. We had a terrible car accident in our corner yesterday afternoon, and then for their prompt return when the driver of the abandoned vehicle was found intoxicated in the woods next to our house. They came out, took care of them, and I thank them for that. So it's nice to know that people there are looking out for us. The initial purpose of my requested council meeting appearance was to request that the property on that corner that is owned by Folly Beach be used for the residents of the clam farm as overflow parking for cars only. There was a contingent of people here that wanted to store trailers and boats there. And I was seeking permission from the city of Folly to uphold our covenant that suggested that no boats or trailers were allowed on the property. After that, I became aware that Folly was looking at alternative uses for that property, and apparently the property was surveyed and the intended uses, I don't know what they're intending to do with it. I think some council members suggested that it's going to be a place for employee houses or for storage facility, I'm not sure. But having said this, my purpose now is kind of twofold. One is to kind of suggest how sad I am that the city of Folly Beach is planning to do anything with this small parcel of land. It's a buffer zone and a habitat. There's lots of mature trees there, there's live oaks, there's pines, there's palms, and there's a huge tea olive that's just beautiful. And it's a habitat for the little green that live there, you know, and they're important. They're not listed as endangered, but frogs all over are, you know, becoming less and less, and every little bit of habitat that we can save for them is important. In addition to frogs, I've seen gray foxes come in and out of the area, and the osprey and red-tailed hawks. I've seen 2 eagles that love the pine tree that are right there. And to me, protecting this small parcel of habitat is as important as protecting the marsh or protecting the beach for the sea turtles. The second purpose is selfish. I would much rather look out my porch and see trees and wildlife as opposed to a storage building or a privacy center, whatever is planned for that part. I love seeing the tree frogs in the summer, and I love seeing the birds and the raptors, and I love smelling the tea olive, and I hate to see any of this disappear. And yes, I chose to buy this home. I chose to buy in this neighborhood, and that I've done my due diligence and figured out what was going to go on with this land. But the clam farm developers, somewhat unscrupulous people, suggested that this lot, having been determined was not suitable for the fire station for Folly, was going to be used for overflow parking for the residents of the clam farm. And yeah, I was stupid to believe that and really sit to the point. According to the map of Folly Beach, the land in question is zoned for multifamily residential. And I'm just asking the mayor and city council to be thoughtful and considerate of the clam farm community and their planning of the property. I know that zoning laws are designed to provide an orderly development in the city, but it's also important to be a good neighbor and determine whether there's negative impacts on the community for zoning changes that will affect them. Considering, the impact on property values as well as determining infrastructure like roads and access points and everything else. I was curious when I started kind of looking at this presentation that I was going to give you all in reading the ordinance of 15-20 called the Folly Beach Road Corridor Overlay District. And part of its purpose is to create a corridor that is well planned and attractive through the implementation of land use and design and intended to promote an active scene and open space. And I think, well, we deserve that too. I mean, why, are you trying to do this along Folly Road, but yet want to build a storage area, right? So we can look at it every day and, see it from our property. It's a buffer zone there, and it's very nice. So I just would like you to take that into consideration. And let me conclude by saying that I love Folly Beach. I'm very respectful of all of you that work hard and make this a great community and a great place to live. And I will keep, working on the welfare of our community. I'm excited about the prospect of the new kayak launch being planned for the base of the bridge at Folly Creek near the Clam Farm dock. And would like to suggest that maybe the lot that we have here, if nothing done to it, could be used as overflow parking for that facility, because the parking at the bridge is going to be tight. I don't know what DOT has released or what their plan is for parking there, but there's going to be a lot of people that use that launch. It's going to be a nice place, and it would not be unreasonable to think that those people could park in that little lot and walk to the kayak launch.
I need you to wrap up, please.
Pardon me?
I said your time is up. I need you to wrap up, please.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I would love to see the land preserved, and I appreciate any time or effort you could give to this matter. I hate the destruction of habitat, and I feel sad that it might be gone. So thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Can I respond quickly?
No. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, just real quick. Mrs. McAllister, I want to share with you, on October 30th, I actually had an hour-long Zoom call with Matthew Horton and Holly Blanchard, who represented themselves to me as the president and vice president, respectively, of the Clam Farm Neighborhood Association.
Right.
You might also want to speak with them if you haven't already. I gave them some, what I hope was helpful hints and information about how to go about this.
Yeah, I've spoken to them, but I was on the agenda, and I'm just pleading as a resident here at the Clam Farm. It affects me the most because the property is right outside my porch. So thank you for your time. I'll get with them too. Next year I might be the president of the neighborhood association. So.
Okay, thank you. Uh-huh. You have Mr. Marshall on tap?
Yes. Greg, if you can hear us? Greg?
See you.
Yep.
Which one is it? Oh, left. Oh, left.
Bottom left.
Got it.
Greg?
I wonder if the sound is off.
He's trying to say something.
He's trying to call you.
So while you're trying to call Mr. Marshall, why don't we, can we get Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, and we'll try to get the other technical problem solved there.
Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Donahue?
Yes, sir, all right. Mayor and council, thank you so much for listening to me. I've applied for a permit for a weekend building operation on a home I own at 1306 East Ashley. We want to rebuild the rear deck on the home, and I need 5 Saturdays if that's possible.
So, you're asking city council for permission to work on Saturdays?
Yes, sir.
And I'm looking
Yes,
at
sir.
your application is from 8 o'clock to 4:30.
Yes, sir.
My first question to you, have you contacted your neighbors?
Rentals on both sides, sir.
Well, how about the people right across that little marsh behind you that live there full-time on Tabby Island?
All right, that's what I should do, is talk to them?
You need to contact those guys too, because we need to know what kind of concerns they have.
All right, I can do that.
And that whole line of people that live on that side of the Tabby Island are full-time residents. I don't think there's a rental back there. I think they're all full-time residents, pretty sure.
All right, I'll find out if that's possible, and at that point, I can get back and reapply.
Yeah, that would be good, and then come back with that information, and we'll talk about it from there. How about that?
That'd be great, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. So, Mr. Marshall.
He said he's dialed in, but he's not sure why we can't hear him.
Is your volume on your computer turned on when you accepted? Did you turn it on for video and audio? Okay. You've got to the extent of my knowledge of this process.
Maybe we could just have him dial in and put him on speakerphone.
Okay, well, here we go. Eric, come on up here a minute. You hang by, Mr. Marshall, and if we're doing something that you really don't like, make some bad faces or something, just hang on. I'm gonna try to get this done without putting you in a bad situation.
I can,
So-
I'll make a motion if you want me to, because
Well-
I know about this, whole thing.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say, his request is that he wanted to extend his driveway, one driveway, 20 feet?
It ends up being 30 feet where it ties into the asphalt.
30 feet, okay, 30 feet wide on one side, with no driveway on the other side of his lot. His lot is through lot, street to street. The other side of the lot is parking. People use to park all the time in the right of way. He could have gotten 30 feet if he'd applied for 2 individual driveways, like a horseshoe that didn't connect, but he didn't. So do I have a motion to give him a variance to keep a 30-foot?
30-foot driveway on the Hudson side.
And it's my understanding that you as a staff member are okay with this process
I am.
as the building our building official?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
I think it should be, because I have personal experience
You
with
want to give me a
this.
second?
So, second,
Okay, now we can talk about it.
you should write a letter forfeiting his right to have a driveway cut on Erie. And that should be added to the file as a deed restriction, because that's
Okay.
essentially what I had to
He said
do.
that's wonderful.
And-
He thumbs up.
And he would have to pay for the building permit that was not obtained at the
Okay.
beginning. Just to-
No problem. He's all with you. Any other? That's a good idea though, Bill. Thank you.
No, it's also important to take note that he tore up a concrete impervious driveway and put down pervious material, which is right in line with something we did years ago to help with drainage and flooding on the island. So it improved the entire situation a lot.
So I think, anybody else have a question?
That's true.
Oh, no, you have concrete.
Call roll.
That's right.
Mine's a pervious.
Okay,
But-
so
all right,
go
this-
for it.
This is on the motion, guys.
Yeah.
Dr. Houghton,
Yes.
Mr. Rich,
Yes.
Mr. Barker,
Yes.
Mr. Farley,
Yes.
Mr. Grooms,
Yes.
Mr. Goodwin,
Yes.
passes.
Thank you. Sorry for the technical process.
Silence is golden.
Yeah, sometimes it is.
That takes so.
Okay, if you have any citizen comments, Ms. Ida, that nobody's read? Okay, thank you. I think everybody read all the emails from what you have received and what you will receive.
Very studious this afternoon
There you go. Thank you very much.
for my nap.
No boards or commission reports this evening. Old business, we're up to ordinance 23-20. This one.
Page 16. Page 16.
Somehow, oh, it's stuck together, that's how. Okay. Page is stuck together. An ordinance amending chapter 95 animals of the Folly Beach Code of Ordinances, section 95.09. Animal tags by requiring that pet tags renewed on an annual basis. So, second reading, have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Any questions, comments? This is where you have to keep up.
Yeah, Mr. Farley,
Yes.
Mr. Barker,
Yes.
Dr. Houghton,
Yes.
Mr. Rich,
Yes.
Mr. Grooms,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin,
Yes.
passes.
Okay. Now we to new business and appointments to boards, commissions, and committees. So we have a planning commission vacancy for an at-large term ending in 2023. We have 3 applicants: Michael Beavers, Randy Carter, and Carol Hart. How do you want to do
If
this?
we just call the roll, and I'll take note of everyone's choice, and if anybody gets to the
And you're going to back him up, Cap? Okay. Just give him the last name, please.
Mr. Barker,
Carter.
Dr. Houghton,
Hot.
Mr. Grooms,
Hart.
Mr. Rich,
Carter.
Mr. Farley,
Carter.
Mayor Goodwin.
Hart.
We have a
So we'll have to do it
tie.
when Ms. Ray's back next time.
Yeah, 3-3.
That's the same thing that happened to us last time.
I couldn't hear what y'all said. I thought y'all about to say Carter and just slurred
It
it.
said hot.
No, I got it now.
Okay, so guys, Mr. Beavers, Mr. Carter, and Ms. Hart, we'll have to take it up again next month when we have everyone available, so we don't have a tie.
I didn't know it was gonna be that close.
Ordinance 15-20, ordinance amending chapter 163 zoning districts, section 16305 overlay district by adopting the recommendation of the Rethink Folly Road Corridor Study to require a 12-foot multi-use path to be installed upon development or redevelopment of any non-single family use within the Folly Road Corridor overlay. This is the first reading. To have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
I have somebody that wants to say something for,
Yes.
get the clock out, he said, less than 2 minutes.
Less than 2 minutes, thank you. So in Lori Hull's stead, she was the representative of the city of Folly Beach to the Rethink Folly Road Initiative or Steering Committee. I've stepped in, and on the 28th of October, we had a meeting, or Zoom meeting, virtual meeting. Some 20-plus people participating. A few names you may know: Mayor Bill Woolsey of James Island, Beth Saunders, who is our Folly citizen rep, and our county representative, County Council Jenny Honeycutt. Just to give those of you some background, probably targeting Billy and Catherine here who are new to this, as am I, of course. There's a process by which this organization is acquiring rights of way. And then subsequently there's a maintenance agreement between, in this case, the city of Charleston, the town of James Island, and the county. What they're trying to do within this 12-foot wide multi-use path is place a 5-foot wide green durable liquid pavement marking, DLPM. which will be solid in some places and then intermittent in others, where there are conflict zones like intersections, people's driveways, things of that nature. There are multiple phases to the project, and the phase that they're focused on now is from Ellis Creek to Walmart, and they're referring to that as Phase 1 at a cost of approximately $130,000. They'll likely be completed with Phase 1 by the spring of 2022, so this isn't happening quickly. There will ultimately be, let's see here, multiple phases, and when it's all said and done, this will extend from the Wahoo Creek Bridge all the way to Arctic Avenue. And as they initiate these other phases, they'll look at other municipalities, City of Valley Beach in this case, to assist in the financing. Any questions? Oh, and this is primarily to be used for bike traffic, not for pedestrian traffic. That's to be on the sidewalk. So much of this will be in the roadway. If you think about even intersections where people might want to use a bike and turn. So I'm eager to see what it's going to look like, but it's not for all use types, it's really for bicycle traffic primarily.
Okay. Any questions, comments?
Mr. Rich,
No.
Dr. Houghton,
Yes.
Mr. Farley,
Yes.
Mr. Barker,
Yes.
Mr. Grooms,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yes. You know, when it gets to Valley Beach, there's not gonna be any liquid.
You don't have to, you could have said no.
No, I'm just saying, when it gets to us, there's not gonna be any liquid path to Arctic Avenue because there's no place to put it. You know, I mean, I understand what they're doing, I understand what they're trying to do, but
That's the ultimate reason why I said no. There's no reason, I mean,
My understanding
we're
is
not part of that.
it would just terminate there. So it wouldn't have to be on Arctic, it would just travel
no,
down.
I'm saying there's no place to put it on Center Street. You get it.
No room.
There's no room on City Street, there's no room to call.
Basically, what they're talking about is our bike lane that's
Right.
already established, so. Well, once it gets to the city limits of Folly Beach, there's a bike lane established, there's not gonna, they're done.
They'll have to widen the bridge in the next iteration.
There you go, but, all right. Ordinance 24-20, an ordinance amending chapter 168, conformities, Folly Beach Code of Ordinances, section 168.04, non-conforming lots of record by applying the merger doctrine and requirements for street access to substandard lots adjacent to the marsh and oceanfront state jurisdictional lots. That was first reading, that was motion for approval.
So moved.
That was second.
Second.
Thank you very much. If you will turn to page 28 of your, under General, General 1, non-conforming lots of record lawfully established prior to March 1st, 2019. After that, there's some red writing that says that are not adjacent to either the OCRM critical line or I'm making a motion to strike on General A1, the red writing, so it will not be changed. A1 would not be changed. It does not, it did, that was a scrivener's error that shouldn't have been put there, and it does not need to be changed. Do I have a second for a motion?
Second.
Any discussions or questions? Okay, on the motion to amend.
Dr. Houghton,
Yes.
Mr. Barker,
Yes.
Mr. Grooms,
Yes.
Mr. Farley,
Yes.
Mr. Rich,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yes. Back to the ordinance as amended. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Grooms,
Yes.
Dr. Houghton,
Yes.
Mr. Rich,
Yes.
Mr. Farley,
Yes.
Mr. Barker,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yes. We have the ordinance 25-20, ordinance amending chapter 152, flood damage prevention by adding language from the South Carolina Model Flood Damage Prevention Ordinance per the recommendations of the State Flood Planning Coordinator's Office. Have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
This is all the amendments they've given us to date to bring us in line.
Yeah, the primary amendment was the change in the map date, which is kind of the impetus for this whole thing. It's on page 42, which you'll see in red, the new map dates go effective January 29th. And then, well, as part of this adoption process, DNR reviews our ordinance and makes recommendations to clean it up and make it more in line with the state model ordinance, which are the other sections in red throughout here. I don't know if we have any.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Lutz? Okay. I think they got it. The state says this is what we need to do to keep our flood insurance, right?
We should make it a day earlier.
Save some money next year.
All right.
Mr. Farley,
Yes.
Dr. Hutton,
Yes.
Mr. Rich,
Yes.
Mr. Barker,
Yes.
Mr. Grooms,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yes. Ordinance 26-20, an ordinance amending chapter 73 golf carts and low-speed vehicles, Folly Beach Code of Ordinances 7306, by requiring the payment of outstanding fines, prior to issuance of rental golf cart decals. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
For a second? Second. And you'll see on page 60 what this is they came back and said, hey, we have a good idea. If there are any outstanding tickets, payments that hadn't been paid, they need to be paid before they get a new sticker. So that's what this whole thing is about. Coke?
Mr. Rich, oh, sorry.
What if would there be a reason for there to have be contested tickets? Would there be a reason to say, well, no, or is there an arbitrating party? Is there a ruling party that say, okay, well, they didn't know about these tickets or anything? Could that come up? So where a guy's like, hey, I didn't know about these, didn't get them, I want to know more information about it. The guy's like, well, I'm not doing it, and they have a stalemate. Then what would happen?
Well, we could, I guess what we need to do ahead of the year, and look and see what kind of tickets might be outstanding and send them a notice. I think we have done that in the past. Because I believe Mr. Will Sneed had come in with a stack of that he didn't know about, like,
Well, that's what I'm
because he
saying.
got a letter from us saying, oh, well, I never got these, so he can't
Right.
pay for
Just so
them.
there's a way they can see, okay, can you verify them? Can we dispute them or work a deal on them? Just so there's some sort of
Yeah,
process
they
before
can,
you just
they
can't
can
get it.
process them through the court, but
Okay.
So if it's adjudicated, it's owed, but if it's still, to Mr. Rich's point, if they haven't had their court hearing yet on it, it would not be held against them. It just has to be adjudicated tickets.
yeah.
Parking tickets are a little bit unique, right? So it's not the same process of like innocent until proven guilty. I mean, parking ticket is assumed to be valid unless they request that court date, show up, contest it, and the judge finds in their favor. So it's a little bit different than like a criminal ticket.
So a contested ticket would not
Exactly.
keep somebody from getting their
Correct.
sticker.
This is for commercial golf carts. Yeah, mostly commercial golf carts. We said we need to go back and talk about residential golf carts, but that's not, this is not. We'll have to go back and talk about that again on a different
So there's a process.
process, yeah.
Okay.
You can't just add that as an amendment on this one?
No.
No? That would be too significant, I think.
Golf carts, golf carts, golf carts.
It's a good try though. All right,
Mr. Rich,
Yes.
Mr. Farley,
Yes.
Mr. Barker,
Yes.
Mr. Grooms,
Yes.
Dr. Houghton,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
yes. So when we get into resolution 42-20, I'm gonna ask if all filibusters be held at 20 to 30 minutes against this resolution. Anybody need to talk longer than that? We need to have other conversations. So it'll be a resolution by Folly Beach City Council appointing the city administrator, and the city administrator that the mayor wishes to appoint is Mr. Aaron Pope. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Yeah.
Is this where we give them our list of demands?
Yeah, that's, you should have already done that as a surprise.
Beforehand.
I do want to say that we didn't put this in here, so, just so everybody will know, that Aaron and I on the back side when we weren't smart enough to put it on the front side. This would actually start the pay period of December the 5th. So it won't start until, it'll be a month down the road before it actually starts impacting pay. But he's doing such a fine interim job, we don't want to lose him.
So when does then the interim get slashed and it
He's-
becomes effective?
When you get through voting,
Oh, okay.
you just don't get the money. It's like we will give you a promotion, we just don't give you a raise.
Got it.
We'll give you a new title, you just don't get a raise yet.
All right, Mr. Barker,
Yes.
Mr. Farley,
Yes.
Mr. Grooms,
Yes.
Dr. Houghton,
Yes.
Mr. Rich.
Yes.
Thank you. Mayor Goodwin.
I promoted you, so, I mean, proposed you, so I guess I have to vote yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
And congratulations.
I look forward to it.
Well, you keep saying that.
Say that now.
He said what he's really looking forward to is a new office.
Yeah, trailer room with a view.
Resolution 40, we laugh about those trailers, but.
I was thinking about that.
You know, these guys are going, Ms. Ray said tonight, it's like being roommates. That is like closer than being roommates working out here in those trailers. I mean, it's gotta, if they get through the stress of this, they can do anything. Resolution 43-20, a resolution by Folly Beach City Council adopting the 2021 regular meeting calendars for Folly Beach City Council, Planning Commission Design Review Board, Parks and Recreations Board, and the official holiday calendar. Which I hope 2021 will be a lot better for holidays than 2020 looks like.
So we actually have the meetings.
Huh?
So we have the meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second? Was that
Second.
Mr. Grooms? Oh, okay. Any comments or questions?
Yeah, quick question on 2021. Is this in fact correct? It shows city holiday, December 31st, New Year's Day, or should that be New Year's Eve Day? Or are we actually
Well-
celebrating New Year's Day?
Well, New Year's Day is actually like Saturday, so
So we're not-
the 31st, they mark as the holiday for New
Friday?
Year's Day, but.
Not
because-
Monday?
Yeah.
Okay. Haven't seen that done before, but.
Well, usually if it's on Saturday, they do Friday, and if it's on Sunday, they do Monday.
Okay.
That's kind of like how it falls. Except for Christmas that year, it's gonna be Friday and Monday, right? Cat? Because of the way the,
27th will be Christmas Day holiday.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
It's a Saturday.
Yep.
but it's always like a Friday after Thanksgiving, a holiday, which is a Friday. They get confused.
That
They get
I'm
confused.
aware of.
They get confused sometimes.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Pope,
Mr. Rich,
Yes.
Dr. Houghton,
Yes.
Mr. Grooms,
Yes.
Mr. Farley,
Yes.
Mr. Barker,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
yes. Resolution 44-20, a resolution by City Council renewing a contract with Southern Strategy Group for lobbying and political consulting. Have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Oh, excuse me, do I have a second?
Second.
I will say these guys work hard for us. Like all political consultants, they're not always 100%, but not 100% right, but they do work hard. And it's been a pleasure knowing them from my perspective and getting to know people that they knew, which was really nice when you have to make those trips.
Mr. Barker,
Yes.
Mr. Grooms,
Yes.
Mr. Farley,
Yes.
Dr. Houghton,
Yes.
Mr. Rich,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yes. Resolution 45-20, a resolution by Folly Beach City Council increasing the contract with Elko Coastal Consulting by $5,400 to cover the cost of completing the 2020 local comprehensive beach management plan. This is a one-time, one-year increase for that. So, do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I will say Dr. Elko has done a wonderful job helping the city of Folly Beach navigate beach management plans, through nourishment, Education on.
Shoot,
She left.
She was out. Oh, she didn't want to stick around. Golly. I have to say good things about her now. Yeah. And the Corps of Engineers over the years. So, Mr. Pope.
Dr. Houghton,
Yes.
Mr. Farley,
Yes.
Mr. Grooms,
Yes.
Mr. Rich,
yes.
Mr. Barker,
Yes.
Mayor Goodwin.
Yes. Okay, guys. City council comments. Mr. Grooms, you want to start?
Certainly. First of all, just congratulate Aaron for his position. They're well-deserved, and I feel positive you're going to do a great job for us. Remind everybody that tomorrow is Veterans Day, to thank a veteran. And at this moment, I'd like to thank all the veterans myself. My father was a veteran, uncles. So if you're not one, thank one for me. Thank you. DJ?
Ditto. Catherine?
I feel like I'm playing. This is good.
We can take it. We don't need
It's like, I feel like I'm playing.
Pass the potato.
A potato. A potato.
You ready?
Yes, I'll dive right in. Okay, yeah. First of all, I want to thank the city for supporting all of the Halloween activities. I mean, it was amazing. The teamwork, the employees, it was an unusual time, and it was just great. Secondly, if you all need any assistance as far as the upcoming holiday things or anything that you have planned, the Civic Club is willing to support that. And lastly, this was just a great meeting. We accomplished a lot, so thank you.
Yeah. Congratulations, Aaron. And then do a quick show and tell. I'm gonna start with Tim. So a business associate of mine.
I've seen that.
Have you seen this online?
Yeah.
Okay, a business associate
What
of
a deal
mine
that was.
visiting here on Folly Beach, rented a home, avid runner, was on the beach, stumbled upon this shell with a very interesting label on it, and immediately we couldn't quite figure out what it was. I did reach out to 3 different people, all of whom you likely know: Vanessa Altman, Dave Miller, and Teresa Marshall. In a fairly short order, we heard back from DNR, and this is what they had to say about this particular shell. It is a knobbed whelk, for those of you that aren't otherwise familiar with it. I was not. And this animal was part of a study by the Office of Fisheries Management Shellfish Section, part of DNR. The animal picture, the shell, was released as an adult on Folly Beach, Site 3, 38 years ago, almost to the day, October 20th of 1982.
He disappeared in the program.
He did obviously disappear. So over 2 years, 1982 and 1983, 7,000 adults were tagged and released, along with 3,000 juveniles. The juveniles had a different, smaller tag. 481 animals were recovered out of the 10,000. They moved a maximum of 9 nautical miles, with the average being 3.28 miles. Of those that were recovered, the 481, 74% were recovered by commercial shrimpers, 25% by beachcombers, and 5% from crab traps. At the time, there was a reward for these shells, anywhere from $25 to $500. There is no longer a reward, although my business associate was provided with a nice swag bag of t-shirts, hats, and koozies from DNR. And I purposefully sent it in this order so that it would end with Catherine and that she could include it in our new history museum, if you'd like to have it.
Oh, yes, look at these shells.
I have one question that wasn't answered on the internet and by DNR. What kind of glue do they use for that tag? Stay on there for 30 years.
They did ask that question. A lot of people haven't.
I mean, what kind of super glue was that?
30 years ago.
Yeah, through the ocean, beating on the sand, how many renourishments and whatever else it might have.
And remarkably, you can still read the label.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And can you write that up?
So,
Yes.
You got anything to say?
Happy Veterans Day. Congratulations, Aaron. Blood drive is December 9th. you haven't signed up, I think there's still some spots available.
I'll be there.
Happy Thanksgiving, and everybody be COVID smart. Protect yourself.
Ditto.
I want to, before we get out of here, I didn't do this earlier. It is coming up on Christmas time, or holiday time, not just Christmas time. So we got some, you want to list a list of some things that you got on your list already?
Sure.
You know about, I didn't even upset you.
No, you're good. Yes, so we
Not
do
much
have
else.
some holiday events coming up. We have, appointment time with Santa will be on our usual second Friday of the month. It is in the Sandsburg, it is in the Folly Current. I don't have those dates in front of me right here, right this second, so please look in the Sandsburg and Folly Current. Also in the staff updates. But appointment with Santa on Friday. We will have Santa visiting the neighborhoods on Saturday in lieu of our Christmas parade. It's sad because this year was our 30th annual parade, and we obviously should not gather for that, so we will go around and the neighborhoods with Santa waving at everyone. I should have mentioned prior to that the Saturday after Thanksgiving, we will have the tree lighting, a virtual tree lighting. There won't be any gathering for that, but that'll be the Folly River Park tree lighting. So I went out of order there, sorry. And the flip-flop drop will also be a virtual event. And don't have the exact time for that, but it'll be just before midnight.
No, it'll be midnight.
Well, you know, preparation for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's not gonna be a long, drawn-out affair by any means like it has been.
Right, no gathering.
So
Yes,
the tree lighting is which day after?
It's Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Okay, thank you.
At 7 p.m.
Thank you.
And then the appointment with Santa will be at 6 p.m. that second
It's
Friday,
like December the 11th.
December
Yep.
10th, and then the 11th is the parade, is that right?
I think it's
Or
it's
not?
Friday.
Friday.
13th is a Sunday.
Okay,
Friday
yeah,
is the-
sorry, I didn't have that in front of me.
Friday is the
Um,
11th at 6.
And the 12th is.
It's neighborhoods. Neighborhoods the 12th at what time?
The
The neighborhood. is-
12 p.m., we'll
Tw-
start at
great.
12 p.m., going to the different neighborhoods,
Perfect.
yes.
Thank you.
And tomorrow, we are doing a Christmas Cards for the Troops event at 1 p.m. If you guys would like to come and sign off on a Christmas card for the troops. We've got 100 cards ready for some sentiment to say thank you for your service. Here at 1 p.m.
Okay, so with all of that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second in there, and we're out of here.
Off the record at 8:28.